Today, we're diving into something that so many of us face: how to help the seniors in our lives who are struggling with isolation and depression. If you're a caregiver, you know just how challenging this can be and how much you want to help. So this explainer is all about giving you some real, practical steps you can take. This quote from our source, Daily Caring, just hits home, doesn't it? That feeling of helplessness when you see someone you love struggling, it's just completely overwhelming. And that's a heavy weight to carry, not just for them, but for you too.
And, it's important to see the bigger picture here. The World Health Organization says that 280 million people of all ages all around the world are affected by depression. So this is a massive health challenge, and it really shows that you and your loved one are not alone in this fight, not by a long shot.
But here's the most important thing I want you to hear today. You are not helpless. The small things you do, day in and day out, can become an absolute lifeline of hope. They can genuinely improve their quality of life. So let's get into the practical ways you can make a real, profound difference.
So, we've broken this down into 3 main areas, and we're going to start with the first one, caring for the body. We're starting here for a reason. So often, our mental and emotional health is really built on the foundation of our physical health.
First things first, let's talk about sleep. Poor sleep can make depression so much worse, so getting into a consistent routine is just vital. That means trying to stick to a regular bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends. That rhythm can have a huge impact on mood. And if you're dealing with something like a sleep disorder, having a plan in place with a doctor is absolutely essential.
Okay, next up, physical activity. Research has shown again and again that it can be an incredible mood booster. And hey, we are not talking about running a marathon here. It's all about gentle, consistent movement. A daily walk, taking the stairs, or finding a class that's right for their age. A group class like yoga or Tai Chi is a fantastic idea because, think about it, you get 2 for 1, exercise and a chance to be social. And of course, we can't talk about the body without talking about diet. What we put into our bodies is so directly connected to how we feel, mentally. The focus should be on adding good stuff, not on feeling restricted. A diet that's rich in these whole foods, fresh fruits and veggies, lean proteins, it gives the brain and body the fuel they need to work their best. And on the flip side of that, here's what we want to try and limit. Foods that are high in added sugars, sodium, and unhealthy fats can really contribute to feeling sluggish and can even make the symptoms of depression worse. It's all part of the same strategy, right? Nourish the body to support the mind.
Okay, so with that physical foundation in place, let's move on to our second section, nurturing the spirit. This is all about finding that joy, that meaning, and that connection that goes beyond just physical health.
Losing that sense of purpose can be such a huge factor in depression, especially after a big life change, like retirement. The key is to help them re-engage with life. And it doesn't have to be some grand gesture. A simple hobby, a weekly card game, even volunteering for a few hours can provide some structure, a feeling of accomplishment, and a real reason to get up in the morning.
Loneliness is really at the heart of this whole issue, so actively encouraging social time is just critical. This could be anything: visits with family, lunch with friends, going to a community event. Every single one of those positive interactions is like a deposit in their emotional bank account, and it helps fight back against the isolation that depression just loves.
This quote from the article's author is just the perfect example of what we were just talking about with purpose. It's not always about big hobbies. Sometimes it's a simple, meaningful responsibility like taking care of a plant or a pet that can make someone feel needed and valued again. It's a small thing with a huge impact.
And please, I can't stress this enough, never underestimate the power of simple affection. When the world feels cold and lonely, you being a source of warmth is invaluable. Really listen when they talk. Offer a hug. Remind them that they are still needed, that they are still important in your life. This is so crucial for someone who's lost a spouse and might be feeling more alone than ever before.
Okay, and that brings us to our final section, and honestly, it might be the most important one: building a support system. Because it is essential for you, the caregiver, to remember that you do not have to do this all by yourself.
It is absolutely vital to know when it's time to bring in the pros. This table lays out some really clear warning signs. If you're noticing a big drop in appetite, major changes in their behavior, or a mood that just keeps getting worse, it's time. It's time to call a doctor or a mental health professional. There is zero shame in asking for expert help. In fact, it's one of the strongest and most loving things you can do.
Now, if a doctor does end up prescribing antidepressants, your role as a supporter becomes even more critical. It's not just about a simple reminder to take a pill. It's about making sure they're following the doctor's orders exactly and keeping an eye out for any red flags, like skipping doses or taking too many. Consistency is everything for these medications to work properly.
And finally, remember you can bring in reinforcements. For seniors who live by themselves, a professional in-home caregiver can be a total game changer. I mean, they provide practical help, sure, but just as important, they offer companionship, a friendly face, a conversation. It's a powerful weapon against loneliness.
So, let's bring this all together. Look, I know it can feel like a huge, monumental task, but the main thing to take away from all this is that your small, consistent actions have a massive impact. You are their lifeline of hope. You're weaving this web of support for them one small thread at a time. So please, don't ever think your efforts are too small to matter. A phone call, sharing a cup of tea, a quick walk around the block. Every single one of those is a powerful connection. Each one sends the same message. I see you, you are valued, and you are not alone. Your presence, just you being there, is the greatest gift you can possibly give.
And this question right here gets to the heart of how to start. Don't feel like you have to do everything all at once. That's overwhelming. Just look back at everything we've talked about and ask yourself this one simple thing. What is one idea, just one, that you can try this week to be that lifeline? You've got this. You really do have the power to make a difference.